Hello there, good morning everybody. I hope you're all okay. Oh, Sharon and Shelley and Sally Ann and Shirley, everyone beginning with S first in on YouTube. And then there's Kate and oh hi Rita, Sharon and Karen. Haven't got comments coming up yet on Facebook, but I'm sure you're there. Okay, I'm gonna make a chair cover, a chair cushion, purely selfishly because I need some chair cushions for open day, so I thought I might as well make one this morning while I'm with you. Oh, here we go. Hi Sandra, Celia, Alana, Jill, hello. The Gamer Groot, hello, morning. Hello Amanda and Debbie, sunny and bright. It's quite nice here, oh, thank you very much Debbie. That's Sally, I'm sorry. Anne, morning. Hello Susan, and another Susan, and Linda. I'm just pulling out random names now. Right, I've got, I just wanted to share with you what we're doing on Create and Craft tomorrow morning, because the products are now live on their website and they're selling like hotcakes. As in the sewing pouches, which are all these little ones behind me, that's a panel. Over half the stock sold out already. That's just from this morning, and the show's not till tomorrow. So I just wanted to give you the heads up, because you're special, before the show tomorrow. There will be more stock, but it'll be on extended delivery, so it could be another 7 days. So I just wanted to show you while we've still got it, what it actually is. So that's the panel, and it's this plus instructions. So you'll need lining fabric, 1/2 metre, that should be fine. And you will also need zips in varying sizes. They're all on the instructions, all the different sizes that you need. And that one panel, well, it was designed to have outer and lining, so you could make a pouch. But if you used this as the outer and that is the outer and then your own lining, you can make twice as much. And if you wanted to, you could just use one piece, so just that, use your own backing fabric and lining, and then you can make loads. I haven't added them up yet, but it's loads. So the different there's 3 different sizes. This is the biggest one, which is designed to fit a pair of scissors on the front. I've used pink to line it, but pinks or greens would work really well. And then there's the medium size, there's 2 of those, and the small ones, which are perfect sizes to keep things like your clips in. That's the little diddy one, but that's the one. So clips and pins or hair accessories and that kind of thing. It doesn't have to be for sewing, even though it's got sewing machines on. So they would have been on Monday on my website, but Create and Craft phoned up this morning saying, can we just take all the stock because it's going to sell out. So it may take us another week to get any more. What we can do is put them on pre-order, which is, would you like that? That's very helpful to us, because then we know how many to order, because these are printed to order. So I don't want to go ordering 500 if only 2 of you want them. So I'll do that later on this afternoon, if that's okay. We'll put them on pre-order, and then it'll probably be the end of next week before we can get any more printed, because it's not like printing paper. It takes a few days to print fabric because it has to be treated and everything. Hi VK, oh Mina, hello. Mina in India. Oh, Sylvia's got a flu jab later. Angela's having her highlights in the hairdressers this morning. Hello. Have you on mute? Is it a panel or fabric? Panel. Helene's got me on mute. Panel. That's it. Upside down, but that's it. So it's quite a decent sized panel, but it's just that and instructions. You will need your own lining fabric and whatnot. And then I wanted to show the pouches as well. Sorry, the trinket trays, because we do have, well, these got a bit bent, trinket tray kits to match. So may as well. And these are really handy to keep bits and bobs in on your sewing table and keep you organised, and your clips and things like that work really well in those. So those are the sewing themed ones. And then these are the robin ones. I showed you these the other day. So not necessarily for sewing. These might be quite nice for Christmas. They've got the holly leaves on them. These are my little paintings, and you could keep, I don't know, nuts and nibbles for Christmas on those, in those. And let me just show you the actual panel. Now with these ones, haven't got the panel, didn't arrive. So they will be on Create and Craft, they will be on Extended. I'm not getting them until Tuesday, so it might take another day. And you get everything in the kit that you need. So there's the panel, and then Alice, it's Decaville Light, so that's included in the kit as well, you get that. And the patterns, now these patterns are 1/4 of an inch smaller than the trays, because you're going to use the pattern to cut out, you get your instructions and everything, everything's all included in there, but you cut out the Decaville from the pattern, and then when you put the Decaville onto the panel, you're going to put that on this bit. It'll be 1/4 of an inch smaller all the way around. So when you come to sewing your seam allowance, you're sewing along the edge of the Decaville so the Decaville doesn't go into the seam. So that was the idea there. Hi Irene, our open day, you come in both days, you bought a ticket for each day, so you're going to be there for the both, just wanted to double check. And if you are you staying over, because Diane's coming up. Dawn, sorry, is coming up from Cornwall, and she's staying at that pub over the road. So I just wondered if anybody else is coming up and staying, if you wanted to get together. Unless you've got plans, you might be off to the theatre or something, like in Ipswich. A sunny car show in Hastings. Oh, how lovely. Morning, Anne. Just ordered the pouches from Create and Craft and bought 2. Oh, thank you, Julie. Oh, hi, Pam. Hi, Jean. Hi, Sarah. Yes, so that's that. We do have more of the robin than we do of the sewing, but again it's been quite busy this morning. I don't normally get a call from a buyer at a weekend, so I must be in a bit of a panic, but they are actually really handy little things, and I'm thinking particularly in your sewing room. There's that one. Irene, I shall show you. If you go to, let me move myself over there and do that, and let's have a look on Create and Craft and I'll show you where to go. Create and Craft. So I'm just getting their website up. Yes, I do mean Create and Craft. There we go. So if you go to Create and Craft website, there we are, and go to TV, and then click on Guide. And it's on Saturday at the moment, so go up here and scroll through till Sunday, and then 9 o'clock, Daisy Lane by Debbie Shaw. Click on In This Show and you'll see everything that we've got there. So there's the sewing pouch, the Trinket robin, the Trinket sewing theme, the large bag and purse kit, and oh, they've got the corner creator on there as well. I think that's everything new. And then we've got a few of the woodland cushion panels, bits and bobs in there as well. We've got the Alice, my journal, all that kind of thing. So that's where you go. So we will have them on the website, but we're going to have to get more stock printed, more panels printed. So it might take a while. No, Kat, I don't think so. Rita, how long do your orders take? Normally a couple of weeks, isn't it, to get to New York? Oh, Christine says Create and Craft don't ship to Australia. I didn't know that. Hello, Carol. Making a double zipped wallet for my daughter in Sleepy Hollow in New York. Oh, how lovely, lovely. Right, so that's tomorrow. Got some new stuff to show you today before we get sewing as well. So we do have on offer some of the Ryder Blake jelly rolls. I'm not going to open it up. They're Christmas. I'll open one up if you want me to, but it's a bit of a devil to get it back again. And that is, who's the designer there? Christopher Thompson. Oh, look, I brought the same one down twice. There are a couple of options on the website for you, and they are at reduced prices, massively reduced prices. Could you use as trinket dishes as lids for boxes with the robin on top? Don't see why not. If you made a box to go with it, don't see why not. They're not square like that though, they do go out at the sides. What you could do to make them square is to just pinch in the corners and put a stitch across the top like that, and that would make it nice and square if you wanted to do that. There you go, thanks Sarah. Right, so that's that. Oh, now then, if you have watched Create and Craft, you might have seen this birdie bird batting. Now this is the queen size. We've got a twin size and a queen size available for you, and this is something that you might not have seen before because it's batting. You'll wonder why it's so expensive, and I'm just about to explain that, because it's something rather different. It's a mother and son company. She's the quilter, he's an engineer. So she came up with the idea and he's put it together, but it's really quite fascinating. So I've got a few bits on here. So there's 100% cotton. So that's your cotton wadding on the one side. It's stitched at 12-inch intervals to 100% cotton fleece on the back. And that's really, really soft. So you don't need to put any backing on your quilt if you don't want to. So although it's more expensive than regular wadding, it is 100% cotton. It's not an 80-80 mix. But this, if you're, if you just want a really soft quilt, then that's an ideal backing. The thread is 100% cotton, and that means, seeing as it's 100% cotton, you can dye this. So you thought, well, that's a really nice idea, and it'd be nice and snuggly and soft, and I'm going to save a fortune on backing fabric, and I don't have to work out how much I need or join it together or go for extra wide or anything like that. But it's the wrong colour. I don't want white. I want pink. I want green. I want blue. Then you can dye this to any colour that you like. It has 3% shrinkage, which is minimal, and that's quite unusual for cotton. But another feature, I haven't tried this on a big quilt, but I was watching a video on it on YouTube this morning. Another feature for this is that it grips onto fabric. So you don't need to tack it, you don't need to baste it, you don't need to pin it. So if you just smooth out all of the fabric nice and flat, and then when you pick it up, it doesn't fall off. So I haven't actually quilted with this, but this is what I was watching on YouTube this morning, and that just doesn't go anywhere. But also what I was quite impressed with is if you're sewing this, it's going to get scrimpled up underneath your sewing machine, isn't it? Not that much, but it will. You'll fold it, you'll roll it, you'll quilt this bit, you'll shove that out of the way, and it sticks, it hasn't moved. So isn't that amazing? So don't just look at this at the website thinking, oh, that's expensive wadding. There's a reason for it, and that's it. It'll save you so much time. It is machine washable, 30 degrees. And like I said, it's minimal shrinkage. 3% on a piece this size is about ½ an inch. It's tiny, it's minimal. So Dash says, so excited to see how Birdie Bird. I've been looking forward to buy that in the UK. Oh, you've heard of it before, have you, Dash? Now, I'd not seen it. We were over at our, I saw it backstage at Create and Craft, and I just thought, that's a funny name. I didn't really pay much attention to it. And when we were over at our suppliers the other day, he was saying, have you seen this? And demonstrated it. And I just thought, that's amazing. That is amazing. Morning, Lisa. But again, the backing is just so soft. Of course, you can put that inside a quilt as well. Wire net, is that Winceyette? Great for quilting block pieces. Yeah, it's just so soft. So yeah, I can't remember offhand, Sharon. We've got it on offer. We've got 10% off. So if you're a Half Year Club member, you get 10% off that as well. The big one, the queen size, is £99.98, I think. And the twin size is £72.50, which I think that's about £8 less than the RRP, and the other one's £10 less than the RRP. But then remember, you get 10% discount on top of that as well. Yeah, it's lovely. And dusting on a Saturday morning. Naughty corner for you. Off you go. Morning, Sandra. I want someone putting on an ironing board for sewing desks. That's a good idea. Yeah, it's lovely. It's really lovely. Lovely wadding. I say lovely a lot, didn't I? Right. What else? Oh, Best Press. Now, we've got the Tea Rose Garden back in stock. And if you haven't seen this before, have I got an open one? No. This is, you'd use it like a spray starch, but it hasn't got starch in it. And in fact, it doesn't say what the ingredients are. It's just a really interesting product. No clogging, no flaking, no residue, and acid free. And it says it's a clear starch and sizing alternative. So although they've got a slight tinge to them, they don't leave colour on your garments or on your fabrics. They don't leave, you know, like with starch can be quite chalky. If you put too much on, that doesn't happen. But it does stiffen and crispen your fabrics. So perfect if you've got some fabric that doesn't crease very well, or you're doing a bit of patchwork and you really want to make sure your pieces are pieced. Are pressed pristinely, lots of P's. So that's back in stock. Already got the linen, but this is a new fragrance, which is Peaches and Cream. We've only got the big size, so it does come with a big spray. But you've got almost half a litre there, 499 ml. Starch and sizing, all fabrics, no clogging, no waste, no oh, just what I just said. No residue, no shine, no spotting. Makes ironing easier, relaxes stubborn wrinkles, and it's self-storage. Doesn't attract bugs. God's fabric from soiling. Oh, I didn't know it did that as well. But the smell of this is lovely. It's peaches and cream. But it smells a little like Christmas. You know, when at Christmas time you get all the cloves and the oranges and those kind of smells in potpourri. It's that kind of smell. So that's brand new for you. So I thought I'd show you that. And oh dear, Lena says, love Best Press, I buy it by the gallon. What size of wadding for an Alice quilt? I can't remember off the top of my head how big that Alice quilt is, Sarah. Have I got one here? Have a look at a new piece of fabric, because I think I've got some here. There you go. Have a look at some Cornelli while I just pop over to the other side of my studio. Oop. I tripped over a cushion. And yes, I do have an Alice quilt here. Oh, no, that's not an Alice quilt. Oh, no. I thought that was Alice, but it wasn't. Oh, keep looking at that for just a minute while I just look for this quilt, which I definitely haven't got. If you have a look on the website, the measurements of the actual quilt should be there. Twin will be absolutely fine. We haven't got that any smaller than twin, but all of the sizes should be there. Already tried it, Lisa. Doesn't work on your own. Best Press on wrinkles on your face. Mind you, it's a good idea. Hi Ellen, making a Gaunt Christmas applique patchwork cushion covers. Lovely. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't stain anything. It doesn't stain the iron at all. It's you spray it onto your fabric, and it's completely clear. Lots of YouTube vids on Best Press. Oh, I didn't know that, Darshan. I've not seen those. Oh, thank you, Sarah. Your Alice quilt is 31 by 50 by 15. Why has it got 3 measurements on it? I'd say 31 by 50. Is that right? Because it's not a cube. 31 by 50. So you'd need. Oh, for me, it would be all right. A twin would be absolutely. You'd have loads left over from a twin. So anyway, this one. This is lovely. It's actually like a thread that's been sewn on. Like Cornelli. Isn't it gorgeous? So it's paisley. It's a really unusual fabric. It's extra wide. It's quite crisp. I think homewares, cushion covers and bags would be lovely. And a bag in that. But it's actually like a thread, and it's all different thicknesses. And then it's been sewn over. Must have been done by machine, but isn't that clever? So much detail on it. So I'm just sure to tell you that. Oh, Pam says the finished size of the Alice quilt is 42 by 52.5 centimetres. Inches. Inches? I'll be inches, won't it? Look on the website. Right. Something else I wanted to show you. Oh, I've got some more tools. Oh, and I'd have a play with that actually. So, we've got these new chalk pens. I like a chalk pen, but this is really fine, and it's a little bit like, do you remember when you were little and you had hi Anna Maria, hi Karen, terrible rainy language. Oh really? Oh, it's quite nice here, a bit overcast. But do you remember when you were little having pens where you clicked it and different colours came? It does that. It's got 3 different colours inside it, but it's a very fine nib. Let me find a piece of fabric so I can show you. That will do. So it does say on the side, that one's black, and it is a fine line, but it's chalk. Looks like a biro, but it's chalk. And then there's white, so turn it around and a white comes out. To get more to come out, if you need to, you click the top down. So that comes out white. You wouldn't use that on this colour, obviously. And it's got a pink in there as well. And I love that, because sometimes with the chalk, you know, the chalk triangles that you can buy, they don't give a very fine line. They're fine, but if you really want to be accurate, I was quilting a bag, I'll show you in a minute, for the sew along at the end of the month, and I was using a chalk triangle for it, and the line actually turned out to be about 1/8 of an inch wide. And I thought, actually, if you really want to be accurate, whereabouts on that width do you sew? So that, I think, is ideal. And we do the refills for them as well. There's 3 black, 3 white and 3 pink refills in there too, and they're sold separately. So those are new. Oh, while we're talking about wadding, we ages ago we brought you some wadding tape to join it together. It was a Bosal one, and we can't get any more of it, but we've managed to find another one. So that's it. I shan't get it out, but it's a webbing tape. It's very fine, and you would butt up the 2 pieces wadding together and then just iron it over the top. So a bit like sellotape for wadding, and that's 1.5 inches wide, I think, this one. Excuse me. Yes, 1.5 inches wide. I'm just looking at the instructions through there, and there is 15 yards or 13.7 meters on there, so you get an awful lot. Do you think the batting would add to the postage to the US? Do you know, Rita, it shouldn't do, but it probably would do, because we go on price. So I'm sure it's an American product. The video on YouTube, there was an American lady demonstrating it, so you might find it over there. If you wanted to order it, because it doesn't actually weigh very much. Oh, actually, it does weigh very much. If you wanted to order it, I'll put the whole order together and get a quote for it. And if it's less than the normal, whatever it is you pay, then I'll refund that. Will that be all right? That's probably the easiest thing to do. Hello, Ramali in Sri Lanka. Hello. Steph, morning to you. Lillian, hello. And Marie, is the mouse wanting to be a Halloween treat? Well spotted. Didn't know where that was. Sylvia's doing a sashko quilt and needs a fine line white to draw the patterns on. Yes, it is a sew line. It is a sew line product, yes. Hi, Amanda, Linda. And yes, it is a cathedral, Linda. Well spotted. That's a kit that Kim's put together using the latest Liberty fabrics. So she's only just finished making the one. It'll be a kit to be able to make 2 of those. Everything that you need and instructions as well. So maybe by Wednesday or next Saturday that's going to be available. I absolutely love it. It's so pretty. The fabrics are gorgeous, and of course it's Liberty, so they're going to be really lovely quality as well. Hello, Susan in Indianapolis. 6:25 a.m. in Northeast Ohio. Are you up early or up late? How's that working? Hello, Karen. Kaz is making a shopping list. The beards for the gunks and gnomes. Not at the moment, Paula, I'm afraid. Want to see it. Me scoot back. Let me scoot back on me seat. And can't reach it. I'll get it down in a sec. Can't get up at the moment. I'll get it in a minute. Now this, I wanted to play with these. Because we saw these at the wholesalers. Has anybody used these before? And I thought they would be ideal for my smocking, seeing as I've still got a book to finish. and I put the needle through the end of my finger so many times, so it's like a sticky thing and a thimble thing that sticks onto the end of your finger. Right, so we peel that off, and that goes on the back of there. I've not done this before, so bear with me if it goes horribly wrong. And let me find a pair of tweezers and just take the paper back off, because if these work, that's an amazing idea. English paper piecing, anything like that. How do you do this then? It said to take the paper backing off. Should maybe tried doing this before, shouldn't I? Don't want to watch that, do you? It says to take the paper backing off. Oh, there we go. Oh, paper backing was thicker than I thought it would be. Right. So paper backing off. And then that sticks on your finger. Oh, that's actually quite sturdy. Oh, I like that. Let me find a needle and thread. And where's my fabric? Oh, that is very good. Look at the big knot of thread I've got there. Oh, I like that. Yes, that's better than a thimble. I don't know about you. I don't really get on with metal thimbles very well. And I try and avoid leather as much as I can because I think it's better on the animals. And the silicone ones, I don't think they're actually meant, 2 needles on there. I don't think they're actually meant for pushing through. They're meant for pulling, aren't they? So that's a great idea. That's really stuck on. Oh, I'm glad I showed you that, and I've got to keep those now because I've opened it. No idea there's a 2-pot procedure. Was this, this? Oh, that was a bit rude. I stick them on my plastic project case to reuse many times. Yeah, also she can't get the right. I just find with the metal ones that they spin around a bit. I can't get a good grip on it. But that's got. I mean, it's dimpled. Just wait for that to focus a moment. There you go. You can see the dimples in the end of it. So it grips onto your needle okay, but you can put it wherever you want. Pulls off. I think you can reposition them. Oh, that's still sticky. I think you can reposition them quite a few times until you need to replace them. And apparently these are available on their own. We haven't got those on the website on their own, but they are available on their own. So if you like them, we'll have a look into that as well. See, this is what a trinket tray is for. Because I don't want to keep that, but that keeps all the bits and bobs in place. It's quite handy. Right, we're going to do some sewing in a bit using Maclindo forceps. I've no idea. I think they came with an overlocker. Kindly refund to 29. Oh, Irene, I did, didn't I? Sorry. Yeah, I printed off everyone's packing slips the other day, and I just saw 2. I'd completely forgotten about that. Oh, and I thought you were with us for 2 days. But no, we'll see you on the Saturday. What else was going to show you? Oh, this is your sew along for the, I think it's the 23rd. It's not the last weekend because that's when we're doing the open day. And the reason I've made a bag is because next month's project for the Half Yard Club is a bag organiser. And I just thought if you haven't got a bag the right size for the organiser, we'll make one. So this is the project. So this is Half Yard Club member project. And you've got enough room in there to keep your phone and bits and bobs. And there's pockets on the front and there's pockets on the back, lots of pockets. And then on the inside it's big enough to keep an iPad if you have one of those. And there's double sets of pockets on the inside too. And then on the side you've got D-ring that you can clip on, or you could actually just get the clip and put that straight on there and clip your keys and things on the side there as well. But I just thought, if you haven't got the right size bag, then you can make that in any size that you like. I do explain that in the instructions, but I just thought, wouldn't it be nice, oh, let me take my phone out, if you haven't got a bag, or if you wanted to make one to match, that we could actually make a bag for that to fit in. So that's going to be the sew along, not what's on the inside. Not the organiser. The bag is going to be the sew along on the 23rd. So if you have your newsletter, then it'll be on there. That'll be on the 15th. The next one comes out, or I'll put all of the ingredients that you need on Facebook nearer the time. Okay. Christmas stuffy this year. No, I hadn't planned, Jill. November. Where are we? November's going to be a Christmas wreath. It's all made out of felt. But no, I don't think we have a stuff. I can't remember. I don't think we've got a stuffy. I've got a new editor, Anne, and I just thought that she was being complimentary. She said, "Oh, this is great. I love this one, the bag organiser." And I said, "Do you really like it?" So I'm going to make one. So she really likes it. Yeah. No more gnomes, Lisa. I'm all gnomed out. Gnomed out, sick of them. What else is he going to show you? Nothing. Should we do some sewing? I bought some, oh, that's what I was going to show you. This, quite exciting, is quilting with Liberty fabrics. Oh, come on out. Is that because I bashed it? It's a really heavy book by Jenny Smith, but it is just beautiful. So there's lots of ideas and inspiration and patterns and projects and things like that in here. And we've got 2 of these that we're going to give away. We're going to have a prize draw on the open days. So we do still have some tickets left. I think 12 o'clock sold out now, 4 o'clock sold out on both days. We've got 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock, but there's not many 2 o'clocks left. But at the end of the weekend, we're going to do a prize draw. We'll just do a random draw, and somebody on each day is going to win one of those. So that was really, so heavy. That is really exciting. Has it got a price on it? Only dollars, $40. $40 worth. So yeah, we've got a couple of those. Anyway, talking of open day, I've been buying chairs for you because it's a Juki day as well. So we've got a huge table and everyone can sit around and watch the demonstrations. And I bought some chairs, but they've got these cushions on them and they're horrible. I mean, the cushions are okay, but they're just old and used. So I thought I'll just make another one. So I'm going to use some Liberty. I'm going to use a Liberty fabric and basically copy it. So this is the, what's it called? Morning Bird Song. That's so pretty. It's one of the newer ones that we've got. And I might not put the dimples in it, or I might not do that today. And I'm going to use piping instead of the binding because that's going to look, doesn't look very tidy, I don't think that. And I've got some binding that I'm going to make the ribbons with. So I'm going to copy the size because this is the size from the chair that it came from. The bag patterns. Oh, have you not seen those before? Elizabeth, Rosemary and Shelley. I'm glad you like those. The bag behind me is a kit on Create and Craft tomorrow. It's the handle, 2 D-rings, 2 magnetic snaps, the fabric, H630, instructions and patterns to make the bag and the purse. And they're really easy. There's no inside pockets, there's no zips, there's nothing complicated about it at all. And lining fabric you get. It's got a dark blue lining fabric. If you wanted to add pockets to it, you're going to need more fabric. You've got just enough to make those 2 items. So those will be on Create and Craft tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. They are live on the website now, and I can't get hold of any more once those are gone. So that's what that is. Anyway, let's have a look at this. I'm going to zoom myself out just a little bit. So, oops, just hold the line a second while I do that. That's better, then you can see what I'm doing. And then these are, it's actually stitched through the holes. And I am going to open it up to see what the wadding's like on the inside. Because I might, oh, the toy fill or whatever they've used. Because I might actually reuse that. Right. So that's already cut quite straight. So I'm going to just, oh, let's do it this way. I'm going to just cut around the outside of it. This isn't symmetrical for some reason. So really not very well made. So I'm going to cut around one side. This is allowing for about 1/2 inch seam allowance. I'm going to make that a bit square at the back. Oh, sorry, I can't see a thing I'm doing with the top of my head there. And I'm going to stop halfway. Let's do the same around the bottom here. Just tip something over. So let's measure this to see how wide it is. So that's 16 inches. So if I stop 8 inches, that will do. That's halfway. And then fold that in half so I know it's symmetrical. So that needs to be straight there, which is not quite. Right, and then I'll cut around the other side. Didn't quite zoom out wide enough, but I'm just using that half to cut the second half here. So it's not actually a seat pad that was inside there, it's some kind of K-pock. There, that will do. So that's the shape of my thing. Laura says I would dither so much about cutting around that. The nice thing is with this style, Laura, with it having the toy filler in it, you don't have to match it exactly to the cushion shape or the cushion pad shape. So if it's not quite the exact size, if it's a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller, it doesn't really matter because we're going to stuff it. I'm just finishing that edge off that looked a little bit square and I wanted it a little bit round. And then we're going to put the piping on, and I've chosen a green, so I think that goes really well. And then I've got a green that I'm going to use for the ties as well, so let's make those up. So I'll go to the same measurements as it's got on here, which is 24 inches folded in half, which is the length of that, and we'll need 2 of those. And I'm just going to fold this in half and sew it just to make like ribbons. If you've got ribbon that matches, then that would work just as well. Right, so I don't need that anymore. Let's sew this over. Oops, come unplugged. I'm knocking everything over down here. Yeah, it's a good idea if you're making one just for a chair, because I'm only copying one that came off the chair that was on there already, so I know it's going to be the right size. But if you're making one, then just measure your chair first. You could wrap a piece of paper around it and crease the edge, and then you've got an exact template of what size the chair is. So I'm just going to fold that in half and sew down one side. I'll tuck the ends in to make it nice and neat. And then sew it. And you go. So could have ironed that first, but so somebody, when you come to the open day, is going to be sitting on this very cushion that I'm making up now. Right, we just keep sewing all down. Hello Anita in South Carolina, welcome along. Oh, Sue's gnome book arrived. Hope you like it. There is a typo on Eek's hat. The side of the hat should be 8 inches, so you can't use that circle template. I think it kind of makes sense. Lisa managed to sort it out without saying anything, so I think it does make sense when you think about it, but I just wanted to point that out. Okay, so fold that in half. So just doing the same again, just sewing down the sides. So back tack at the end. And down we go. Again, if you've got a piece of ribbon, or you could even make a tube out of the same fabric that you're making the chair with, the cushion with. That would work just as well. Right, so almost there. Fold that under to neaten the end. And just back stitch the end. Right. Hello, Rose. You should hide a mystery prize somewhere or inside the cover. That's a good idea. That's a good idea, isn't it? Let's do this. So the narrower end is the back. So that's where I'm going to start with the piping. Just need to trim that back a bit. So let's put that to one side for now. Right, so this, have I got enough there? That doesn't look enough. No, it should be. I'm going to start leaving a little bit unsewn at the end. Just in the centre of the back, I'll put the zipper foot on my sewing machine. There we go. And Sue says I love it when you make things ad hoc like this. Whoops, where's the back? That's the back. So I'm lining up the edge of the piping with the edge of the fabric. I'm going to move the needle over just a little bit so it's sitting right up against, there we go, right up against the piping, right up against the cord, and then we'll sew it. As I'm just coming up to the curved edge here, I'm going to snip into the seam allowance, and that's going to help it bend around the curve easier. So you can see how the edge of the piping all kind of splays out, and it helps it to sit flat. If you didn't snip into it, then the whole thing would just pucker up a little bit, be quite difficult to sew. So let's line the edge up there. I wouldn't pin this. I think it's easier to just keep lining up the edges, the raw edges, as you go. Coming up to another curve, so let's snip into here, about 1/2 inch or 1 centimetre apart, doesn't have to be too close. And for the whole of the area that goes around the curved section, not through the stitches. So this is obviously a pre-made bias binding. We do have them on the website actually in so many colours. But I just thought the green goes so well with this. It's a lovely colour green. But it could have been red, peach. We've got some really nice colours in this. Okay, straight around the bottom. So it is actually quite a quick project because there isn't a gusset to put in here. You know, it's just a flat piece of, well, 2 pieces of fabric. Snip into that, coming to the curve again. And line up the edges. And again, I'm sewing quite close to the cord. There we go, almost there. One more corner to sew around. Just enough cord, haven't I? This is the end of a roll, so I'm quite pleased. Alright, I just came away from the cord there for a minute. I'll go back over that and make that a bit tighter. So these two bits, I'm going to chop that off a little bit, are overlapping slightly at the end. So let's sew up to here, still lining up the edges until there's about an inch difference there. Or there's a gap there, look, as they overlap. So what I'm going to do here is to pull out some of the cord from this side, chop it off, and I'm going to unpick some of these stitches just to open up the cord a little bit, because this is where the two ends are going to overlap. So let's do that. That should be enough, and that needs chopping down a bit more. So the cord's sitting inside here, and that is then going to fold over. And this end, where the actual cord finishes, the string bit, we're going to trim that back so that they meet. So the two pieces of cord butt up against each other, and then the bit that I cut off, fold that over and wrap it around the edge of that cord there. Alright. So the two bits of cord are meeting and the fabric's just wrapped around the edge. And then let's sew that down. So try and keep that nice and tight. So I've got a nice neat meeting of ends. Right, there's one bit there where I didn't sew quite close enough to the cord, so I'm going to go back over that bit again. It's only a short distance, but I saw the foot slip away from it. And then, oh Joan, I'm sorry about that. But welcome back to sewing. See if we can give you a little bit of pleasure. Right, so next up the ties are going to go on the back, and as I'm copying a cushion, I want them in the same place, so they were quite close to the edge. So we'll pop them about there. So I've just folded that in half. And that's going to go here.
Coffee, tea.
Oh, yes,
light
please.
refreshments.
Ooh. No light refreshments.
You're going to get me doing this on the opening day, aren't you?
I've got plans for you.
Is it going to be a bar?
Depends who's coming.
You might need a bar.
I don't know where my mat is.
Those plastic things would be all right.
Those plastic things.
Well,
That's my corner creator. I'm not putting my tea on there.
I thought they were mug friendly.
No, no.
Behind that hook. On top of that hook.
That's my iron rack. That will do. Thank you.
Wouldn't have this trouble if you had a gin and tonic. Hi everybody.
Oh, Lisa wants a gin. And I know it's not even midday.
Yeah.
On the gin already. Janet says blackcurrant tea. Rita says hi. Steph says hi.
Hiya.
Sarah wants to know what you like at cocktail making.
I'll give it a go.
Right, that's hot. Put that there. Laura wants a prosecco.
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 all there on the day, presumably.
What about a Prosecco shot in a porn star martini? I do like those. Right, so that's going to go on there like that. So I can see that that's in the same place, but measure if you prefer. Hi, Zach. And I'm just going to sew those in place. We do have these on the website, by the way. We've sold out so many times, but they are there at the moment. So just to let you know, if you were waiting. Snap there. And just sew that one. Okay. See that? That's what that's for. Then we will put the opposite side of the... Oh, I've got that down to show you, by the way, Linda. We're done with that. Well, we're done with the other side of that. I haven't sewn them both together, have I? That's the cushion. So there's in the kit is everything that you need to make two, and all of your instructions are in there as well. And then on the back, the zip's included too, and it's got one of those folded over hidden zips on the back as well. So I just think it's a really pretty cushion, and again it's Liberty, so it's really lovely quality as well. So hopefully those will be ready. If not by Wednesday, they should be there on Saturday. Right. Somewhere here I have another piece of fabric just like that one that I'm sewing on the other side of it, and I can't see it. How do I do that? I haven't moved, I haven't gone anywhere, haven't sewn them both together, haven't put it on the floor with that, it's not down there, haven't got enough to cut another piece out. There it is, honestly. Must tidy up my room. Thank you, Andrea. Oh, Connie's made snowman, how lovely. So these are going to go right sides together. And I'll need to leave a gap so I can stuff it from the back. So I will pop a few pins in this time. Just to stop it from slipping as I'm sewing. Hello, Catherine in Tasmania. She loves the fabrics. Thank you. Only two at the moment, Deirdre. I've bought 2 chairs that have these cushions on them, but we do have 6 chairs. So it depends how much time I've got. Those of you that are coming to the open day, if you get a nice comfy seat, it's because I've had enough time to make them. Otherwise, you might be sitting on a hard one. We've got cushions. We've got cushions. Welcome to World of Lost, Gone and Disappearing Stuff. I know, Anita. It's normally my scissors. Normally scissors. When you find out how you lose things, let me know, because I do it all the time. Oh, Linda, all the time. But I don't move anywhere, and they just disappear. Yeah, I think we've all done it, haven't we? So this time, I'm going to sew from this side because I can see the stitch line, and I'm going to sew exactly, if I can, along that line. So I'll back stitch here because that's where I'm going to be turning it through, and just try and keep that nice and close to the piping. You can always go back over it afterwards if you do find that you've parted company with the piping cord at any point. I'm just keeping this nice and flat as we go around, and tucked in nice and neatly against the cord. They don't take too long to make these actually, so I'm not going to put any buttons in this one. I don't think. That's how much time I've got later. So just around the curve again. Let's line up those edges again. Oh, I think this is going to look so nice. I love this fabric as well. We've got quite a lot of Liberty fabrics at the moment. Right. Around there, and then, oh, we're back to the beginning again. So just back stitch there. And then we'll turn it the right side out when I've taken out the bins. Jean says, have a chain attached to my scissors and a magnet for my needle. That's a good idea. Does anybody stick pins and needles in their in your jumper? My mum used to do that all the time, and invariably end up at the supermarket with pins and needles stuck in a jumper. What's happening with Denise? Thinking of you. Hope it goes well. I think that's looking all right, you know. I think we're doing all right there. I don't think we need to sew any closer. Just think we need to stuff it. I'm not even going to iron it. I think that's looking good. There we go. So I'm going to open up the cushion that I copied and just see what the filling's like. So it's not too dirty, so it might be all right. Let's go in here, because if I can reuse it, then I will do. Depends how soft it is. Let's have a look. That's not too bad, actually. We'll use that. So I'm just sniffing it. You never know. Second hand, you never know. Small cushion for a seat belt. Sorry, I missed that one. I'll go back and have a look at these in a bit. I dropped a needle and then stepped on it. Oh, I stood on a pin the other day. It isn't nice, is it, June? No. I'm not going to stuff this too much because I don't want it to be like that. So we'll keep it quite flat. So I'll just spread that out nicely. Pulling it apart a little bit because it's getting a bit puffy. That's better. You have Millwood self-cover. Oh, self-cover buttons, 22 centimetres. Oh, Jean, I'll ask Kim. She buys them in. If you do have any requests like that, let us know. She's off out for the day today. Her fella's taken her out for a birthday. She doesn't know where she's going, so she's having a nice day today, hopefully. Almost there with this. I'm just pulling it apart a little bit inside here because I don't want it to be lumpy, so I'm just doing that with it. And making sure it's nice and even because this is actually quite tight. Push that into the corners. Could put buttons on it, couldn't I? No, I don't think I will for this one. Don't think I will. Let's just spread this around. I suppose if you put buttons through it, it'll stop the stuffing from moving anywhere, but I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be fine with that. I would use toy filler, Deirdre, just ordinary polyester toy filler. I don't think it has to be anything particularly special. If you've got any old pillows that have, what's it called? Monofilament, I can't remember. But if you've got any old pillows, then that'd be ideal for this. If it was a toy, then I'd want something really, really soft. But for a seat, doesn't really matter. So the cheapest stuff you can buy. That's looking quite nice, I think, if I say so myself. Just a little bit more in the end and we're done. Whoa, 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 come back. I'll take a picture of the chair when I put it on there. The chair's still at the office. Elaine, I think you need to finish your sentence. but I shall pass on your messages. I don't think she'll be watching us today. Foam pad would be good, but that's where you'd need to have the fabric cut to exactly the right size for the pad, and maybe put a gusset around the side of it. But this is just quite an easy make because it's just 2 pieces of fabric. Right, let's sew this opening closed. I'm going to put that foot back in my machine before I lose it. No, down, down, up, down, up, down, up. Right, and I'm going to hand sew this closed. That's a little diddy needle. I don't like short needles. Don't know about you. That one's too fat. That one's too fat. That one will be all right. Okay, I don't know how quickly you did that. It's not a difficult one, this one, Alice. So it's only 2 pieces of fabric, and as long as you cut it the right shape and it's symmetrical, I think that's the key thing. It's got to be symmetrical. Just booked a ferry for Christmas. Oh, are you coming over? Oh, lovely, Julie. You're going to Cornwall. All right, do that and that. I don't see why it couldn't go in the washing machine, Anna. And I think particularly with used things like that cushion was, it's probably been washed already. So if it was going to shrink, it would have shrunk by now. So all I'm doing here, I'm going to do a little ladder stitch. So take the knot inside there, and this is going to be on the underside, so no one's really going to see it. In fact, I'll just do an over edge stitch. So into the piping and out through the fabric, and I'm just catching the end of the fold of the fabric there and trying to keep that really close to the piping, but I'm not taking the needle all the way through to the other side because we don't want to see the stitches on the other side. And we'll just run across there. Might be worth checking if you're buying toy filler like this. I mean, normally it's washable, it's only polyester, but just check the washing instructions before you buy it if that's a concern. Oh, Linda. Thank you. I love it. And isn't little genius things like this, I'm quite in the right place, that you wish you'd invented yourself? I mean, it's only a bit of metal in a dome shape stuck to your finger, but what a difference that makes. Really easy. Best time ever. Oh, thank you, Anita. It is quite. It's not a difficult technique. The key, I think, is sewing close enough to the actual cord, so it's a nice, neat outline. But I love piping, particularly on cushion covers. I just think it gives it a really expensive shop bought look. It's a nice finishing touch, and it creates almost like a frame around the fabric, doesn't it? It really flatters the fabric. And when you get the right colour, I mean, a blue would have looked really nice with this one as well. That would have really pulled out the blue tones. But when you get exactly the right colour as well, it just gives a really, really lovely finish to it. Quite plush. And oh, Jane says she could do the finger guard because she sews gems on leotards. Absolutely. Well, I was thinking with the smocking. Made it, Celia. I've just copied a seat pad from a second-hand chair that I bought that I wasn't too pleased about, and I made it with Liberty fabric instead. There, that will do for that. Finger guard back in Trinket tray, and that is that finished. So I'm popping over to the office in a minute actually, so I'll put that on the seat and I shall take a picture and show you. I'll post it later on this afternoon when I'm back. I've got to nip over to my niece's as well. So it might be a while, but I'll post it when I get back. I will also, when I get back, put the pre-orders for the sewing pouches on there as well, if that's okay, but it might be about a week. A quick unpick. I don't know what we'd do without a quick unpick. I think they're one of the best tools ever. Don't always want to use one, but you know, best tool ever. How to do the piping around the corner if there's a square instead of curve. Alice, you'll never get a square. You'll never get a square from piping because it won't bend square. Did I have a little bit left over? I've got the tiniest little bit left over. I can show you. Because, I mean, even if you cut into the seam allowance and bend it, it's always going to be slightly round. So that's all I do with the square corner. I do it exactly the same as you have with the curve, maybe a few snips on there, but just line up the edge of the fabric as best as you can with the edge of the square piece of fabric. But that will always have a slight curve on it. It's not like with bias binding where you can miter it. So I do it exactly the same way, like that. And snip into the seam allowance in the same way. And that's about as square as it will get. Oh, hi Chris. King size double wedding ring cord. My wife is making a dress for him. Oh wow. You don't stop, you two, do you? A quick unpick, Cindy, we call them, because it unpicks the stitches quickly. Seam rippers, they're called. Stitch rippers. I think my mum used to call hers a stitch ripper. But yes, it's an unpick. Okay, well, I'm going to get off because I've got to go to work. So remember, 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, Crate and Craft, if you can watch, would be really nice. I'm with Janice, so that's going to be fun. And if you want to email the studio, that'd be nice to hear from you there as well. But remember, all of the products are there live on the website right now. So if you've seen anything that you particularly want, then I'd go ahead and get it, because they don't normally do that. They don't normally put things live before the show. Thank you, Lisa. Oh, just need to do a bit of housework over here. So I'll click that and do that, and see you again on Wednesday. So if I shan't see you tomorrow, I'll see you on Wednesday at 4 o'clock. So I hope you enjoyed that, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye-bye. Oh, Sarah, it's Janice. It's Janice. I like working with Janice. We normally have quite a giggle tomorrow, so that'll be good. Okay, I shall see you again soon. Bye bye.